Hi there, welcome to PHP Academy. I'm Alex, and in this first tutorial, in the most basic tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through installing your web server, installing PHP, which is pretty much coming with the package we're going to use, and also MySQL, which also comes with this package we're going to be using. And what we're going to be using is something called XAMPP. You can also call it XAMPP, I think someone said it's pronounced. However, I'm just going to be referring to it as XAMPP. What you need to be doing is to get up and running with your server and your PHP installation with that and your MySQL database. You're going to need to visit this website here, or just go on apache-friends.org, or just Google for XAMPP. It's spelled like this here, XAMPP. And I'm just going to be showing you how to install it for Windows, how to get everything up and running for a Windows installation. If you need any other help on, say, Linux or any other operating system, just let me know and I'll be happy to make a tutorial. Okay, so we've come onto the website. We need to choose this installer here, and what that's going to do is it is going to bring up this page, and eventually you'll end up with a file downloaded like this with a version number. And you need to choose the installer, make sure you do that. So to install, just basically double click and run, choose your language, and you may get this. I'm using Windows Vista, so I'm saying it's saying here for me Windows Vista user account is deactivated on your system, blah blah blah. This isn't necessary for what we're using, so ignore that if you do get it up, and you can just run through with your installation here. Make sure you're choosing it on your local drive with a folder here to keep things simple. Don't bother putting it in program files. And these options really are up to you. The create XAMPP desktop icon, I'm going to choose that, but I'm not going to choose this one. Now what you need to do is choose to install Apache as a service and MySQL as a service. This will basically add it as a system service, and it will run every time you start your computer. You're welcome to keep these unchecked, but I always keep them checked for easy use. And basically this is just going to install now. So what I'll do is I'll leave that at that. I'll pause the video and I'll return when everything's installed and take you through the rest of setting up your PHP installation. Bear in mind that before we do install this, if I have my blank browser up here and I try to access localhost, this is your local web server's host. Usually you'd address something as, say, google.com, but we're addressing as localhost. You can see that we have a failed to connect error message here. When we have installed XAMPP and we choose this localhost option again, we will in fact connect straight to our server. XAMPP does make ease of use of installing Apache, which is a HTTP web server, and it also installs a PHP module on top of that, and then it installs your MySQL database and the service. So when we come back to this after we've installed, running our local host should work. And I'm also going to show you how to put files into your installation or your local host directory, if you like. It's not called localhost, but this is how we address our root server on our web server, root folder, sorry, on our web server. So when that's finished installing, I'll come back to the video and we can get on with that. Okay, so we've finished installing and we have a few messages that just came up, you saw there. We can just go ahead and click finish. You can see that here what we're doing is checking for necessary ports. This means that it's checking if port 80 and I think MySQL, I can't remember the port. However, as long as you have no errors here, then you are absolutely fine. You're being set up with Apache 2.2 here, you can see, and we can see that the service is starting, and in here the MySQL service is starting, and we get an error. We get a message saying that our installation is finished. Now you can start the XAMPP control panel. We click yes. Let me just bring that over. You can see that we've got our Apache server running and our MySQL server running. The reason you don't see PHP here is because PHP is part of our web server, so it's part of Apache. It's installed as a separate module, and this isn't run as a service. It's more of a module addition to our web server. So now what we can do is we can load back up our page here, and you can see that by pressing enter on localhost again, we've connected to XAMPP as you would expect. What we can also do is we can have a look inside particular directories on our web server as you usually would. For now I'm just going to go ahead and click English, and you can see that you have XAMPP set up here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my C drive here. You can see files inside here, and I'm going to double click on XAMPP, which is the installation directory we installed to. We've got a few files here, but the main one we're going to focus on here is htdocs, and this is where you're going to put your files that are going to be run by your web server and processed in PHP. So if we double click on this, you can see that we've got a variety of files here, and this index.html is the file that you can see here. This is index.php for now, which is here, and index.anything is the file that's automatically started up. You can change this, but just leave it as that for now. And I've got a folder here called PHP Academy. What I'm going to go ahead and do is create a new text document. In fact, I'll do it in my context editor. It's a lot easier. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to save that out, and that is going to be saved to my htdocs file here. Folder here, you can see, and I'm just going to save that as php info .php, and inside here I'm going to type some PHP code, and this is just going to be php_info, and then you need 2 brackets, and you need your line terminator. If you don't understand what this means, you don't need to learn it. It's not standard, anything you really need to know for everyday use. This will just give us out some information about our PHP server, or our web server PHP installation. So we can run back to this, and here we're just going to address this. So you need localhost, and you don't need to type htdocs or anything like that. All we need is localhost, and then we need to click on, or type in rather, let's see, what do we call our file? php info.php. Press enter. Don't need the underscore, so take away that, and then you need to refresh, and you can see that we've got our PHP information file here with lots of data in. So you can see here that what is happening is we're running a PHP script inside our htdocs file. So if I were to say address favicon.ico, you can see that we're given with that. So any files you put inside htdocs are processed by your web server through PHP. So any files that you write in the tutorials that I have up here, just put your files into this htdocs thing in C:\\XAMPP and htdocs, and anything there will be processed. And you can address it either through localhost or 127.0.0.1. For pressing enter, you can see that nothing's changed. This is the same. This is just your local web server. Okay, so that's about it. We have installed XAMPP, which is an easy way, cheating way really, of installing your Apache service and your MySQL service, which is a database service you'll use later on, and also the PHP module for Apache, which lets you process PHP files. Obviously that's very useful. We've downloaded and installed XAMPP, and I've shown you how to create a file and run this through your web server. So hopefully this will be of use for you to start from the tutorials. If you have any problems, please feel free to contact me. Please subscribe, and I'll see you around in the tutorials to come. Thanks for watching.